First of all, we aren't here to poop on your party. We want you to have as much fun as possible in Las Vegas. If anything, this video is about keeping the life in your party. And oh, by the way, my name is Chris. Catherine is behind the camera today. This Las Vegas survival kit is designed by our experiences after more trips than we can count, and by a couple who absolutely loves visiting Las Vegas. These items all fit in your pockets, on your body, and in your head, and they're all designed to be a quick, easy, cheap remedy for situations that could quickly arise, saving you time and money, giving you peace of mind, and letting you get back to having a good time as quickly as possible. After all, it's only a vacation until suddenly it isn't. This is our WIN method for surviving Las Vegas. WIN. Weather, incidentals, and navigation. Let's start with the W, weather. The number one thing that will put the poop on your party is dehydration, and it can happen in cold and hot weather. In Las Vegas, you're surrounded by all this man-made civilization, but don't forget, because your body won't, you're still in the middle of the desert. Drink water often, especially if you're having adult beverages along the way. And with Las Vegas being in the desert, many tourists assume that it's always hot, and you can usually spot them during the winter time by what they're wearing or not wearing, simply by how uncomfortable they look. It isn't always hot in Las Vegas. Visiting during the summer is a far different experience than visiting during the winter, and that brings us to appropriate clothing. From extreme heat to bitter cold, from monsoon season to high winds at any time of the year.
Ooh, I feel like I'm on a ride. It gets really windy here in Vegas. So ladies, hold on to your skirts.
Be sure to check the weather before you go to Las Vegas, especially if you're traveling between November and April. You'll likely want to pack layers to stay warm. And even when you're going during the summer and stepping outside feels like you just stuck your head into an oven, the air conditioning in some properties can be downright frigid. So we always pack a lightweight hoodie for those long video poker sessions. And no matter when you're going, you'll want some comfortable shoes at some point. There's lots of walking to be done both inside and outside, so pack accordingly. Sunglasses are optional but useful, especially if you're spending lots of time outdoors. Next, let's talk about the I in WIN, the incidentals. Those things that go in your pockets or a small, secure bag, no matter what time of year you're visiting Las Vegas. Keep the really valuable, difficult to replace stuff in your front pockets at all times. For example, here's what I carry in my front pockets: valid ID, forms of payment, phone, pocket knife, bandana, lip balm. And just a side note here, even though we have had TSA pre-check for several years now, I have been on the receiving end of the full pat-down treatment on more than one occasion, specifically because of the lip balm in my front pocket and the bandana in my back pocket. My best advice, if you're going through airport security, put everything in your pockets into your carry-on or your checked baggage before going through airport security. You can put it back in your pockets after that. Now, all of those items are part of my everyday carry, or EDC, no matter where I am. Here's the stuff that is specific to Las Vegas. Number one is cash, specifically US dollars. Cash is still king in Las Vegas. This cash is your Vegas emergency fund, and it isn't to be touched unless there's an emergency. The amount you carry is up to you. And I also carry a small bag of painkillers and a bottle of eye drops. The painkillers and eye drops are optional, of course, but they come in handy with our Vegas EDC. My eyes always get dry wherever I'm traveling, And there are few places on earth worse to have a headache than in Las Vegas. Plus, bringing them from home is much cheaper than taking time out of your vacation to pay strip prices for things you probably already have. You might also want to add hand sanitizer and sunscreen to your kit. Now, we usually have that on hand back at the hotel room, but whether you actually carry it or not is up to you. Now for the in-win, and the stuff you really don't want to think about. And the point in the video where most people have already stopped watching. Also, be sure to comment "still here" in the comments below if you are indeed still here. The in-win stands for navigation. It doesn't take up space in your luggage. It doesn't take up space in your pockets, only in your head. But it might be the most critical. My first trip to Vegas back in 1998, I got lost in the Excalibur Casino, and I'm not afraid to admit it. And I turned the wrong way more than once in the Caesars Forum shops. These properties and the Strip can be very confusing, especially if you've never been here and even when you're sober. That's why it's important to have an overhead view of a sense of direction of the place. The Strip generally runs from north to south. Fremont Street generally runs from northwest to southeast. Take a look at the placement of the properties on Google Maps. It'll do you good, I promise. As for walking through the properties, be sure to look around you every once in a while. You know, if you're walking through, take a look behind you to see what it looks like behind you if you have to turn around and go back the other way, just as if you were in the woods. That way, if you do have to turn around and go back the other way, the view might not seem so unfamiliar, especially when you've taken an individual restroom break and then need to find your way back to your partner or your group. And if you do get separated from your partner or your group, first of all, stay put for a few minutes because they might find you. Second of all, as we said in the eyes section, you should have your cell phone on you. After a few minutes have passed and it seems that you are absolutely separated, it's important to have a previously established meeting spot. Now, one of the most frequent spots you'll see on signage inside the properties are directions to the hotel lobby and registration and front desk area. Our recommendation is to make that your meeting spot. Not a random slot machine, not a random restroom, not a random elevator or escalator. In fact, avoid escalators if at all possible and you are able.
Okay, this is perfect. Do you see these crowds up here on the pedestrian bridge? I mean, that's a crazy crowd. When you get off this escalator, we have gotten to the point. Hang on. Sorry. We have had an experience that was absolutely terrifying. You can see these people, some of them are stopping right off the escalator, not taking into consideration the people coming off of the escalator after them. And one time, it was so packed and people had absolutely jam-packed the pedestrian walkway to watch the fountains. And so when we got up to the top, there was nowhere to go. And I'm telling you, that was absolutely terrifying because what do? I mean, the escalator doesn't stop because there's nowhere to go. It keeps going.
After your sense of direction is established, it's the thing that none of us want to talk about, and that is an escape plan. What do you do if you need to exit an area immediately?
There has been an emergency reported in the building. Leave the building immediately using marked stairways and exits. Do not use elevators.
Okie dokie, that's enough for me.
Unfortunately, being prepared for an active shooter situation in the US is a real thing, and it has happened in Las Vegas, like the October 1 shooting, as are other things like flash flooding, which has affected casino floors, and also fire emergencies. Again, take a look around, know your exits and exit strategies in case you get separated and your cell phones aren't working. It sounds morbid, but we even have a strategy for if we get separated while taking an individual restroom break and have to exit immediately. It isn't pleasant to think about, but it is something to keep in mind, not only while on vacation in Las Vegas, but while you're on vacation anywhere. And that's it. Tell us in the comments below what goes in your win kit. We would love to hear about it. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that little notification bell so that you know every time we release a new video, and we will see you on the next episode of The Midlife Ride.